because there's so many
That's true.
opportunities and so many ways of doing that.
I mean, exactly. If you say like even 10 years ago, I can say, yeah, there were some, stops that you can not fully be aware of it, these things. But now you just have so many things that you just have to do your own search and just go for it with the little
Yeah,
steps as
you
you
could
mentioned
you
before.
could even I mean, between thrifting, resale, vintage purchase, buying vintage clothing,
Right.
swapping with your friends for free,
Exactly.
so attending swapping events,
Mm.
or upcycling, mending and repairing your clothing. All of that
Mm.
is so much cheaper than buying fast fashion, because fast
Right.
fashion, it disintegrates it. Well, it doesn't disintegrate. That's what we were hoping it would, so
Mm.
then there wouldn't be a landfill problem. But
Right.
it actually, the pieces, like they're not sewn properly. They stitches start coming undone.
Mm.
So at the end, that's why people go through so much fast fashion.
Right.
Because it's not good quality,
Right.
and it starts falling apart. So people, might buy 10 pieces, and then they get rid of them and they buy another 10, and as opposed to if they only bought one quality item that would last them their lifetime, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So you're at the point where you meet a lot of people and you're also a guest speaker, as you mentioned. What type of people, I mean, the age group is more interested in sustainable fashion or try to adopt new thing?
Well, generally the individuals that I design for and I eco style, they're
Mm-hmm.
very young. Like my
Mm.
youngest client is 5 years old,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, and my oldest, and I want to say consistent client is
Mm-hmm.
about 30, almost 30.
Okay.
And then I mean, there's other people that I design for. They'll randomly ask me to make something for a green carpet or a red carpet event, or like say
Mm.
Comic-Con.
Wow.
And yeah, because they want one of a kind pieces. Like I made this donut jacket
Yeah.
for one of my clients, and that's what he wanted, donuts. And so I want to say that's usually my age group that's very excited about supporting sustainable fashion, and
Mm-hmm.
and they understand it, they get it, they understand that it's their future that's at stake, and they're the ones that will reach out to me and they'll be like, hey, I want to look really good on the red carpet, or I'm going to have an interview, or I'm speaking, at an event, and I really want to stand out.
Yeah.
So most of my clients, I want to say, even though they're very young, they are public figures. They're either actors, they're musicians. They want to make sure that they're what they're wearing is a conversational piece, and they also want to flex. They want to flex that they're wearing stuff that's good for the planet, because
Okay.
they're proud to say that I'm wearing something that's not harming our planet, that's
Exactly.
actually helping. And they should, because it is very important for them,
Right.
especially because they have a much bigger reach than I do,
Mm-hmm.
and they can definitely touch more of
Exactly.
their followers, their
They can
audience.
influence.
Oh, definitely. So I
Right.
appreciate them being so passionate about it as well. It's
Exactly.
it's 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 a nice relationship, because they come to me for inspiration, for wardrobes, that are sustainable, and or designs that they have in mind. Like I said, for example, this one actor, he's a young actor, very young actor,
I was
and he
about to
wanted,
ask that.
yeah, for donuts, right?
Yeah.
And I think he was gonna be wearing the jacket for Comic Con. Actually, his name's Mateo Ray Garcia, and he's
Okay.
one of my youngest. He's one of my youngest clients. We've been working together since he was 5,
Wow.
and he's 12 now, and so he's been supporting my work for 7 years.
Amazing.
Yeah, and wearing these upcycle pieces. So I'm very, very, very
Yeah.
happy that he's continuing
Of
to
course.
inspire others with his looks. Yeah, and that has led to so many other things, because working with him, I've also worked with other actors, and actually an ambassador. I'm a environmental sustainability ambassador for the Young Artist Academy, which is has so many incredible young artists, all under 18, that are
Wow.
it's kind of like it's the Oscars of the youth.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Hollywood.
Oh, wow. Amazing. What's because you we know that you can make an outfit with a scratch with anything. what's the strangest idea that came up with, or you've, made something that was very fun for for a celeb?
Somebody, there's a young musician. She wanted something that had to do with the ocean, and so she wanted certain colors, like ocean colors, like blue, teal, green, like, and then having it flow like seaweed. So I was able to upcycle a dress, and then I also made it from post-consumer materials, and I attached there was like plastic, post-consumer plastic, Nespresso pods, things that are usually discarded, and I was able to make this really beautiful dress that she was able to wear, that represented the ocean, and had that very ethereal look of movement, like seaweed, kind of like swaying.
Right.
So she loved it, and it had all the colors because they were the colors that she wanted, that teal, that turquoise, that blue, green, and ocean colors.
Amazing. I could make the dress in my mind.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah. So that's some of what some of the stuff that clients ask me for, and then I've had a few that like do Burning Man, and they've asked me for a few pieces that are like masks and things that are made out of discarded things too. And if you see some of my fashion show, like if you go on Instagram, sometimes I'll post the runways that I do, and there's things that I've made there. They're like, wow, like I didn't know that was made from post-consumer waste because it's done so well. But yeah, I have like this one piece that's it's called Indigenous Wisdom, and he's wearing what looks like a warrior, like an Aztec warrior's outfit. But it's actually it really just represents all indigenous people.
Amazing.
And that's also something that catches people's attention.
Wow. That's awesome. I love that. I mean, all the creativity that you can put on. And I love how designers use their minds to, come up with the ideas with the strange one and make something beautiful out of that. It's fascinated me a lot.
With the thing that I do is, and I'm the only person, from what I understand, I think I ranked number one.
Okay.
Someone told me recently, they're like, hey, do you know on ChatGPT you rank number one? I go, no, okay.
Okay.
But in what I particularly do, not just fashion or film, but the fact that I use fashion, film, and art and education to tell the story.
Right.
So in that sense, I think they told me that I ranked number one because I'm actually telling the story with all these different elements. Right. Like right now, I'm focusing a lot on this pre-production of this film for Cyborg Human. So right. I'm using a lot of other elements, like I'm doing the art exhibitions that are around cyborgs. I'm also doing my educational part is on cyborgs. It's on microplastics and the impact on human health, and through textiles and how through the fabrics, they contain so much microplastics, especially the ones that are made from fossil fuels.
Right.
Those are what's impacting our health. It being that the fashion industry is the second worst polluting industry on our planet, and it's the only industry that's unregulated. So you have the fossil fuel industry that's regulated, you have the medical industry that's regulated, you have the food industry that's regulated. Yeah. Every industry has regulations, but the second worst contributing industry does not. So does that make sense? No, it's impacting our health. I mean, we have microplastics in our brain, in our blood. If you have testicles, it's in your testicles. It's unfortunate. Sadly,
that's how you're making plastic babies.
Well, no, that's the problem. There's several doctors, because I do a lot of research and I also work with toxicologists. And Dr. Shauna Swan, she
wow, you're everywhere.
She has stated that in some of her research, and don't quote me on the percentage, because I actually by 2040 that men will become infertile. And I think it's a very high percentage. I think it's like 70% or something. But like I said, don't quote me. You could do your own research, look it up. Okay. But that is alarming. Alarming when you think about how microplastics might end the human race, because, making us infertile.